Gentlemen, episode 5.
Welcome back, Chrissy Brown.
Thank you very much.
You look bronzed, doesn't he?
Yeah, you look more tan than normal.
Yeah, a bit of a tan. I went to the beach.
It's a really big tan, to be fair. It's a bloody big body.
Big surface area.
Yep.
Good trip.
Yes. Do you miss me? Move on. I had some
That wasn't
negative
even
comments.
planned, was it?
No.
I had some negative comments about the intro weren't as good as usual.
Bollocks.
Yes.
I think you know that we have kept this ship afloat.
We steered the boat.
Yeah.
If it weren't for us, lots would have gone up. Peter on in Wengy last week.
Yeah.
It's not Wengy.
Wingy.
We made this mistake last week.
And we still
Pete.
didn't get Pete this week. Still didn't get criticised, did we?
No.
Who have we got this week?
Charlie Austin.
When you think of Charlie Austin, what club?
Burnley.
Yeah. Southampton, mate.
I'm going to QPR, I think just to be different.
Yeah, QPR. But it's the second time we've had him on. And the first time feels about 15 years ago, doesn't it?
I thought it was lockdown, but
Just because you were in Australia, weren't it?
earlier on Zoom, and Zooms aren't, they're nowhere near as good.
No.
No.
So much
Even
better in person, innit?
Doing it, it just feels different.
Infectious, isn't he?
Yeah.
Infectious character.
Yeah. I think I'd have liked to have been in a dressing room with him.
Yep.
A lot.
Oh, you need to address
Yeah.
Oh, I
housekeeping.
do all that.
Paying
Give us a
housekeeping,
minute,
John.
Chris, just let me give us a
Make
minute.
yourself comfortable.
So, in the episode, we speak a lot about the King of Swindon and Bill. So, just for clarification, the King of Swindon and Bill is the same person, and it's Billy Paynter.
We do
So-
make that mistake sometimes.
The thing is, it's people
So easy.
ump about it, but it is hard.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody's mid-conversation, I know you fucking interrupt a lot, but if it's mid-conversation and he says a nickname,
Yeah.
it's hard for them to go back and readdress it. So just give us a fucking bit of a breath with that, will you?
But understandable at the same time. You know, if everybody's talking about something, you don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know, but
Get annoying.
sometimes it's hard to...
Yeah. Before we get Charlie in, quick mention to O'Neill Sportswear.
If there's ever been an advert for top quality workmanship, him wearing that small for the last hour.
Still fits.
The thread count hasn't changed, has it?
No. Small. This is a small. And it's still...
Give us a spin.
Give it-
Can you believe that he only owns one pair of jeans? Blows my mind every time.
They look mucky, don't they?
Bean juice.
I'll tell you what that one is.
Oh, you had a mayonnaise sandwich?
But yes, massive thanks to O'Neill Sportswear for sponsoring not just the episode, the series, and last series.
And thanks for coming
Making it
back
all
to us,
happen.
Chris.
He always comes back eventually, doesn't he?
Should we get Charlie in?
Like a cold sore,
See you
innit?
next week.
Charlie Austin.
You get a
Cold
cold
sore.
sore, you always seem to get another one.
Back in the house. Good to have you in person.
Yeah.
Where-
Nightmare last time, wasn't it?
Australia were you last time?
Yeah. And the Wi-Fi, where we was on pre-season tour, the Wi-Fi was cutting out. It was a disaster, wasn't it? I was like, I'm under the cosh here. I'm having a nightmare. Logging out of the Wi-Fi, all sorts. And now in person, miles better, yeah.
Are you all right though, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I am now. Like, in a better place now. Not that I was in a bad place then when I was over there. Like, I went over there for a new challenge and new family stuff and all that. Then when I come back, it was like, right, I'm just going to play. But football was, I kind of stopped when I went over there, if that makes sense. Respectfully, I played for the bigger clubs and then went over there. And then when I come back and I finished 18 months at Swindon, it's what I needed. It was perfect. Like, I was close to home. And then last summer when I completely stopped playing full time, I'm so much in such a better place now. Me, the family, and I've realised how much you miss out on Christmas, kids, being at home all the time. And
So you're just ready for being done?
yeah, I was ready. I was ready just to step back from the full time. I wasn't ready to completely stop. That's hence why I still played non-league in that. But I was certainly ready to stop full time. Yeah.
It's like you've tapered off, and you came back. Were you not ready? You know, if you came back from Australia and you stopped, would you have missed
No, I
it
wasn't
then?
ready. Yeah, I'd
it's
missed
weird,
it.
isn't it? How you've
Do you know what the
just
scary thing was? I went to Australia because I ran. What I mean by that is when I left QPR, and I love QPR, and that's my football club. So when I left, it was like a bit of pill to swallow when I left there. And I thought, where am I going to go from here? Man, let's just see. And then I was like, no, let's just go. And Australia come up, and I just ran. I think if I just
Long way
stayed,
to run.
yeah, run, fly the other side of the world, right?
Forrest
But,
Gump.
yeah, but I think it was like on the scenario of where am I going to go from here? Do I want to go and play in League One? Am I going to get another offer in the Championship? Do I want to do that? I was like, right, no, we're off. And it was
Complete change of
but
everything.
The scenario, obviously, you can imagine. We're away, me, the wife, and the kids, and we're at a water park. And we're having this discussion like 3 days before, like, look, let's just wait and see. Let's go home, decide what we're doing. Is what it is. And then my agent rang and said, a club from Australia, Brisbane, have been in touch. Do you want to go over there? And I was like, let me have a think about it. We spoke for 20 minutes, me and the wife at the water park. They rang back, said, yeah, let's go. Literally, I've never been to Australia, mate. Obviously, it's the other side of the world. I don't know anyone that was there.
How old were your little ones, Charlie, at this point?
My daughter was 9 and my little man was 5.
That's the biggest thing, really, isn't
yeah.
it?
Like my daughter. So she didn't want to go. My little man didn't care. He was like, I'm going over there. But flip side of that, when we was coming back, my daughter didn't want to come home. Loved it. When I think back now, what a mad decision it was to go over there. Honestly, what a mad decision it was to come back.
Was it harder to decide to come back than what it were to go?
It only took 20 minutes, does that go?
Yeah, to go. So I wanted to obviously to run. I think it was my wife come back because my eldest daughter was here and she didn't come over there with us because she was in her last year at school. So she had like 6 months left. She's doing her GCSEs and she didn't want to come. My wife come back when the World Cup break happened for her birthday. She'd obviously come back 5 days, weather shit in November. She's like, nothing's changed here, same old people. Yeah. But 5 days, couple of days, it was nice, but I still obviously had the kids. And then I'm like, I'm driving up. No, I'm going home. Like, as soon as she landed, I said, we're packing up and we're going back. And she's like, no, we're not. Let's just get to the end of the season. Let's just like get to May and work out what we're doing then. I was like, no, we got to go back. I still do believe if we didn't have the World Cup break, I wouldn't have come back.
Oh, so that was it? You came back?
Literally after the World Cup break, yeah. I landed 21st December. I flew out 5th of July. All my stuff, was there 2 weeks with her, then she come back. She packed everything up and it got shipped over come mid-August. And we packed up and come home 21st of December.
You know?
Yeah.
Boomerang Charlie.
Yeah, literally, mate, literally. It was an amazing experience, but then I think back to it like, definitely should have stayed.
You see any spiders? Like that's what I'm worried about. If I went there,
don't get me up. So spiders. There's a big old spider that's what are they called? Oh, I can't even think what those. Anyway, there's one of these monster spiders in our house, and she rang like the security people and said, "Look, what do we do like with this thing?" They said, "Oh no, don't worry about that. That's just a baby one. The mum's somewhere in the house." Oh my god!
I don't think I'll be able to sleep.
Yeah, and then we had one morning we woke up, went like in the garden, and the brown snakes are the dangerous ones over there. But we had one in the garden, but he shredded its skin through the night, and obviously it was.
So you know it's around somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. So you had to get someone in. It was nuts, mate. And then where we lived in this flat. It was about 500 houses in this gated like community thing. There's 2 golf courses inside, so like security driving around. Kangaroos were just like there. So you're just driving past and they're there. Like it was unbelievable, mate.
See, I think I'd rather have a fight with a kangaroo than a snake.
No, they're big. They're big. Them pictures that you see are not. They're not animated or added to, mate. Them males are big.
And would they go for you? Or
them ones not. That was there. They must have been off the head or something. Do you know what I mean? Something like, but they wouldn't. But you wouldn't get too close to them, like.
I'm with you though, John.
I'd rather have a fight with a kangaroo than a spider.
No, have I not even brought this up? Right, this is going to spin you. I'm not even joking, you. Magpies. Just listen to me. just listen to me.
Nick Tommy jewellery.
Just listen, right? In September, they've got this thing over there called swooping season. So these magpies, not like these ones here, where and you just run towards them and they just fly off. These ones here, you run, they fly off. They go up, 360, mate, straight back, try and attack you. I'm not even joking yet. They come down. So me and my little man was walking down the road. He's on his scooter and I was obviously going down there. This magpie's like following us along. I didn't think nothing of it. Anyway, it come right down and went off. And, no way. So I turned back to walk back to the house. I've got him next, like tugged into me. I'm carrying his scooter. and I've got his helmet in my right hand thing. If this thing comes anywhere near me, I'm going to fucking melt it one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, over there. So even when they're like, riding their bikes or anything, they've got all the cable ties like in their helmets and that to act like they're birds and that. These magpies are dangerous, mate.
And when they swoop, is it like a headbutt? Just
they almost like come down. Obviously, they've attacked like people where they come flying down like a headbutt. Sometimes they come 5, 10 foot above your head and then just get away. It's more like just to scare them off.
Right.
But they are
I
frightening.
would never have had magpies down as one of the dangerous things in fucking Australia.
Yeah, I swear, these swooping, magpie swooping, is honestly, it's madness.
What were the football like out there?
Some was good. Some teams were good. Some teams were shit. Respectfully, like it was because you had like Melbourne City was obviously part of Man City, and they were paying the money. People were going there, and then there was such a gap of finances in your club. So you had like 4 or 5 lads who were getting the money, and then the younger ones were getting peanuts. Like some of the younger lads that were coming through, like for the youth team, or just got past that the first year pros. Mate, honestly, we were walking along in the shopping centre. I went into Foot Locker, and the lad who was like training with me yesterday, get me a nice pair of towels. What are you doing here? Do you know what I mean? Like, that was so. Some of them just didn't. There's such a big gap.
Yeah.
So even though the full-time training and full-time pros, they've got to get more money.
Got to get more money. They've got to get more money.
Jesus.
And the quality of the games, because it's so hot, sometimes like it's tough. You know, it's like you go on pre-season tour somewhere. It's hard enough, isn't it? But they're trying to play. It was tough.
Did you struggle to keep your own professionalism and
yes, in the end,
drive?
In the end, yes.
I think I would as well.
Not at the start. Not at the start because you didn't. It's almost hard just to let it go when you're there at the start. I remember we played a team in Melbourne in like the Australian Cup, so they combined the league and the one below, and you just play like that's their say FA Cup or whatever. And we played down in Melbourne, beat his team 3-1. Who we played against, they was just not very good. Politely, they was just not very good, right? And it was going along. The time I got to season started, so you had like the pre-season was like 8 weeks over there. And the time you got to see it, my head had just kind of, I dropped off a little bit because it just infused it, and my energy and enthusiasm wasn't there. So I just couldn't get that full 100% buzz that you'd get when you're waiting to go out to a game. And even to the point when Nani was over there when I was there, he was at Melbourne Victory, and he said exactly the same. Obviously, he had a tremendous elite career, right? And he's obviously gone there, and he just fell out of love with it straight away.
Should we go way back at the start?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I mean, it's worrying that even though it was in 2023, I can't remember your episode. I was hoping it was like 7 years ago.
2023.
Well, you know when you were at Poole, you got picked up playing for Poole. Were you just happy because were you?
Yeah, man. I just literally worked for the old chap. Here, they moved to Bournemouth. I was 18. I was like, I ain't moving. I know everyone here. I work here. The van picks me up from the petrol station 6 o'clock every morning. Like, it is what it is. And then it was like the summer, and he's like, just come down, just see how you like it. I went down there. It was nice. Just come back. I was like, let's just go and see what Poole like. Just go. I trained, and one of the lads was like, oh, do you want to come out tonight? It was like Thursday night. I was like, yeah, right, why not? Loved it. Played on the Saturday, and then signed on the Tuesday, and then literally just stayed down there. So I wasn't even asked. I wasn't even asked. I remember going to see the manager before the season started. I said, right, how much money are you paying me then? And he said, we'll give you £50 a week and £10 a goal. I was like, lovely. Well, I was like, at 18, on top of me, what I was getting like grafting, I was like, lovely, beer tokens, perfect. You know what I mean? I was like, perfect. And then just kind of played and really just took off there.
What level was it? What level is
Step
Poole?
5, what the West, they've all changed now, and it was Wessex League or whatever it is. I think you had to win 2 promotions to get into like the Southern League. I think there was like 3 or 4 below the conference at the time.
So you got no real desire to be a footballer then?
I did. Like, I went through the academy stages of it and left Reading at 14, 15. But I played men's football straight away, and then I wasn't bothered. So I just thought, I'll make a few quid playing non-league at the weekends and graft through the week, and that was it.
And how old were you at Poole?
19. 19. 19 I was. And then it was only till that end of that season, the summer, I put it down to the biggest thing was Eddie Howe wanted me to. We played them. I'd just done 2 weeks in Zante and come back.
Laguna.
Yeah.
Up the stairs at Cocktail and Dreams.
And we come back, and literally 3 days later, we played Bournemouth. Now, when the pro clubs play against the local teams that to earn a few quid. We played Bournemouth, and I scored 2 against them in the first 45 minutes and beat up. Jason Pearce was like their centre half, and then got a phone call saying, "Will you come in on trial?" And I did 6 weeks with them for like their whole pre-season, which I was very fortunate. Right, I worked for my dad, so it was on that side. I was okay, and so basically I had a professional pre-season.
And how did you feel being amongst?
Honestly, I went, mate. I had a pair of Cope Mondials, a fucking pair of World Cups, and everyone's like looking at me like I was like some weirdo. But that was all I knew. Like I didn't.
We both won him his whole career.
I just didn't. In my head, I was always just like, I've got everything to gain and nothing to lose. The worst case can happen is I'm going to go back to Poole Town and I'll just carry the odd for the next 4 or 5 years. I just didn't care. So that was the biggest thing. And then when games would cut, they would play at the weekends and I didn't play in the games. So when I went back to play at Poole Town at the weekends, you can say better, I was just fitter. I was way fitter. These lads were training Tuesday and Thursdays, right? I was way fitter.
So what was the crack with the trial? Like,
We'd done 6 weeks there, and then they had a transfer embargo, so they couldn't sign me.
What do you think they would have done as well?
I think so, yeah. Then the next day, Swindon scout rang me and was like, "Oh, they want you to come here for a week on trial." So I was like, "Yeah, okay." I told Eddie, because he still wanted me to train, even though they couldn't sign me. I told him, he's like, "Well, if you go to Swindon, then obviously we're done here." I was like, "Yeah, sound, no problem."
It's a bit harsh, Eddie.
But I kind of got it because he did. I think that was a point where I knew that he wanted to sign me, and obviously didn't want anyone else to see, etc. And then I was just like, right, yeah, I'm going. And then
Can't expect you to wait.
No,
as well.
that
They've
was
got a
the thing.
transfer embargo.
Been waiting around for ages. Then I went to Swindon, exactly the same. I went in there. Obviously, they was playing League One. Bill was obviously in there. Cy, Lee Peacock, Hasenhüttl, Joffrey. You had like big characters in there, and then there's me, scruffy old fella turning out a banged out Corsa that I'd just reversed into the lamppost. You know what I mean? All these lads got PFA cars and that. And I just didn't care. We played Swansea on the Wednesday and I scored 3 in that. And then I remember being at my wife's house and Danny Wilson ran me and said, "We want to sign you." Fucking buzzing. That was it. Yeah, done.
You know, when you're saying you didn't care, did you have that mentality?
Yeah,
you know,
care.
some people would have.
No,
We've talked about imposter syndrome and everything, you know, fear going into a professional club.
I didn't care. I literally didn't care on the point of, I'm a builder, and so if this fails, I just go back carrying bricks or laying bricks. Do you know what I mean? That was my thing. I never actually ever, that was one thing I never got to a bit where the imposter bit was where you're like, no, I never actually got, because I just didn't care. And then as I went through the football side, it was, well, if I can't do it there, I'll just fucking play here.
Yeah.
If I got there, if I can't cut it in League One, I'll be all right in League Two. Can't in the Champions. Do you know what I mean? That's how I see it.
That's a perfect mentality to have, I
That's
think,
how
as a footballer.
I remember doing it. You know, it's like strikers. So we're doing shooting. So I'm on trial. Phil Smith's in goal. You know, you've realised, you know, you do shooting to keep the saves, it like is what it is, and it like to just get the ball and go back. Well, I shot, Phil Smith dropped it, and I fucking levered one like a rocket. It's like straight past his face, and it was like he gave me the goalie full stare like that. That didn't happen. But I just didn't care.
Sounds like you were like a big kid, just like enjoying it. Like.
Yeah, I had to enjoy like that moment. It was like I had 2 trials. One didn't work for reasons out of my hand. This one I just wanted to grab with opportunities, and if it didn't work, then I'll just try and move up through non-league and just see what happens. Yeah.
And how about you in the dressing room, like you said about the boots and stuff? Did that ever get into your head, or do you just?
No, I remember one time when I signed. It was like a week later, and then you get the PFA boots come through, didn't you? And I'd got them, and I come back from training. One of the young lads took my boots and was like washing them. I said, "Where are you going with my fucking boots? Like, give them back." I thought he was pinching them. Yeah, I thought he was pinching them. Give them back.
It's like Happy Gilmore, isn't it, when the caddy nicks his clubs?
Yeah, where are you going with them? Just give them back. So that was, and I just went in the dressing room. But where I was fortunate on the dressing room side, we had like 4 or 5 youngsters in there. So youngsters, but around my age.
Yeah.
So it was quite good. As much as there was a gap with the ages, with the young and old, it was very connected.
Did Billy look after you? Because Billy couldn't have been that much older than you, was he?
No, he was Bill 5 years older than me. I think so. I think I might be doing him well there, to be fair. He might be a bit older. No, he did. But Bill was like the main main character of the dressing room, right? That was what Bill was. And then you had
Billy Paynter.
yeah. Then you had people that Jonathan Douglas was there, Dave Lucas. You had like older people, and it was only really until we played Reading. He was in the bomb squad. Bill was like real bombed off out of it. And we played against Reading in a friendly, like on a Tuesday, and we both scored 2. Then that's when we both he got in, and then I went in like 3 weeks later, and then it just kind of
clicked. Partnership.
Just literally went, it didn't work on nothing. Just that 90 minutes, and everything changed then.
And when you got no reservations, like I don't know what you were earning building wise and what you were earning.
I was earning more building than what I was when I first signed my pro deal.
But you just thought, fuck it, I'm giving it a go.
I have to.
Yeah,
I have to. My first deal was 300 a week and 500 appearance when I signed for Swindon. So the incentives was I had to play, and then that didn't happen for say 2 months, and then by the time I got to January, I'd had 10 goals and they gave me a new deal.
If we were going to have a quick break with a message from one company, would you like it to be?
I think I'd like it to be NordVPN, please.
Yeah, well,
if that's all right with you too.
It's your lucky day.
Is it?
Oh,
Brilliant.
our favourites, NordVPN. If you're not using it, what you doing?
Tell you what, it is good for as well now with these new laws. You know, don't you?
I
lads?
know. I know what you're on about, John.
Oh,
You know the new
Restrictions
on age verification and all that for certain sites.
right.
What I do, bouncer to Colombia, job done.
Well, if you don't know what NordVPN is, you can bounce your location to anywhere in the world. Perfect for watching sports abroad or watching abroad sports over here.
Yep.
One thing that I was wondering, is the security still watertight?
Is it
Bank details, everything's still firmly
under
secured.
lock and key? Extra protection for all your bank details and everything else associated. All you do, switch on your NordVPN. Happy days.
I think there's just one more question for me, but have we got a bit of an offer or?
Have we got an offer? All you're going to do is click that link in the description and you get a heavy discount and a 30-day money-back guarantee. I've not stopped using it. I've been using it for 3-4 years now.
Same.
Yeah.
I'll be using it a
Cheaper
lot
flights.
bloody more than what I used to. Mark my words.
So yeah, the link's in the description. Get yourself that heavy discount and a 30-day money-back guarantee with NordVPN.
So you kept me out of the team with the first couple, and then
I signed September, and then I made my debut away at Norwich. That was mid-October time, I think it was, when they had the big hitters then. Grant Holt was in goal, up front, Chrissy Martin, Wes Houlihan, Fraser Forster was in goal when they ran away with League One.
And then you got 10 before January, 10 and 11
10 and
games.
11.
I've got
11, yeah. Literally, I scored my debut away at Carlisle, 3 minutes. I remember being in a room the night before, I shared with Michael Timlin, and it come, when you're just waiting to go down for dinner or whatever, Tim's put the telly on, and like the fucking local news come on. Half the pitch was flooded. I'm thinking, brilliant, making my debut. And the game's going to be called off. But it was on, and I scored after 3 minutes, and then just literally took off from there, yeah.
And did you go in for a new contract then?
Yeah, they come to me. I didn't.
Which is fair enough, isn't it?
I had an agent that was young. To be fair, I met this agent. He'd rang me on the phone 3 weeks before I'd made like my debut and stuff, and just could we have a meeting and all that. I met him, just a young guy. I was like, yeah, not sound. To be fair, anyone could have fucking sat in. Do you know what I mean? Anyone could have sat in front of me at the time, and that was it. Yeah, and they went in for a new deal. Yeah.
To be fair, they'd have been stupid not to, because anybody scoring 10, 11 in League One with 3 months left on his contract or whatever,
I'd have gone.
Someone's knocking on the door.
But then we obviously went through, and it just that season was just like a whirlwind for me and Bill, because I think it's the most Bill scored in the season as well. Like we just clicked, and if I scored, he'd scored, or if it was 1-0 game, it would be one of us. Do you know what I mean? And Danny Wilson had it to the other 9 players played for me and Bill. You know, it's like when you play up front. But how do you get the best out of you when the others play for you? There's no point in them trying to be ticky-tacky through the middle and go wide and cross it in. Like that's it, and that's how it kind of worked. John Paul McGovern was down the right, Danny Ward was down the left, and just whip balls in, and we'd score for fun.
You're a little bit pissed off that Bill's known as the King of Swindon and not you?
So I'm way past that. No, Bill is Bill is definitely the King of Swindon. What a guy. Some of the stories that he comes out with and what he was. For me, I see it differently though, because I see them stories and you're in the changing with him, but what he was to me at the very start of my career is just I'd see it way past all the fun and the good jokes and all that, because I see all that, but for the way I see him, and still when I speak to him, when I see him abroad, I do think like thank you. I do say thank you to him like when I started, because I needed that. So I didn't have that and I was up there on my own, as much as I was like, I don't care, like I've got everything to gain, nothing to lose, I'd have been fucking lost. I would have been lost. I needed to have that older bloke next to me.
It's good that
Bless him.
Yeah, I'm just imagining having a bar on holiday after 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Come on, mate.
I fucking
Did
love
it work for
you, Bill.
you?
Yeah, and he'd come back to me, where the fuck was you when I was getting fucked up out of Leeds? That's what he'd come back to me. But no, it was brilliant. And then the season obviously went the way it was. And we got beat to Millwall in the playoff final.
That's a whirlwind to that point, though, isn't it? Is that 12
Mate, I
months?
made my first, this is how mad it is, Wessex Premier League, we played New Milton at home in front of about 500 people and won 1-0. And my last game of that season was against Millwall in a playoff final in front of 80,000.
Which is probably, that attitude really helped you.
Yeah.
If you'd gone in like, fucking hellfire.
Yeah.
You might
All
have...
nervous. Like, I get it. People get nervous, right? And you can get good nerves, of course, but I didn't ever really seem to struggle with it. Not really. Only a couple of times through the career. But if I had the nerves at the start, then it would have went against me for sure.
I can't remember if it was you that told us, but was it Billy that broke into somebody's house or something?
Yeah, but Bill told the story when they was terrorising Scotty Cuthbert. Oh my God.
So they had his key. Am I right to say they had his key?
Had his key, got it cut.
And then when just moving furniture
Yeah, when
around.
he went out the road and when he went back up to Scotland, they would move furniture around, mess up his house and stuff like that, and just rob everything out of the fridge and stuff like stuff like that.
That's Billy all over
Who
that, man.
thinks of doing something like that? But the line was when they turned up with the balaclavas on. I was like, imagine someone get a bat or something, they get him wrapped around his head, pull off the balaclava, and there's Bill flat out on the do you know what I mean, kitchen floor.
And what about the after the playoff final? It was at the Player of the Year awards.
Yeah, jeez, that's what I mean. And do you know what's quite funny is everything they've said. You know what it's like when you listen and you're like, that didn't happen, or you're in the room and you're like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
What Billy and Si have said word for word, that fucking happened, mate. When they both come out of the toilets, they had all the foam all over, and they just peppered each other with a fire extinguisher. Then they, just near the bar, you got the wooden floor, or the mat flooring down there, mate. They were doing Klingsman bollock naked, like along the bar and that. And the board members were there, and then that was it, done. Home.
What, music off, everybody home?
Well, it was almost, the players were like, home. That was it, done.
And this is at the Player of the Year, do?
Yeah, but it was 2 days after we'd obviously got beat in the final. But Bill didn't care because obviously he was going to Leeds. And that was it. He was done and gone, mate.
With the relationship you had on the field, and like you said, Harry's been with you off the field, was you like
Not at the time, because obviously he had family and all that. As much as he was a chat lad and all that with all the other boys, I couldn't shake off that builder side. I was just still always go back to see my mates because I lived local. They was my football mates who I'd see all the time, but I would just go and see my mates who live down the road for a pint.
So would you still go out with your pals after a game and everything like that?
Yeah, most of my career. Most of my career I did, yeah.
See, I think I was exactly the same.
Yeah, mate. I like the football boys were what they was, right? They was my workmates, and yeah, they were friends. But still, now I look back and I think, on a general month-to-month basis, I speak to 4, 5 of you out of like all the people who play with. The rest,
It is mad, isn't it?
do you know what I mean? It's what it is. John Paul McGovern said that to me when I left Swindon to go to Burnley. He said to me that. I said, JP, like, we'll stay in touch. He's like, honestly, just don't take this like the wrong way. He said, but you won't, because that's just how football works. And I was like, no, we'll be all right. I think I've spoken to him twice.
Thing is, though, if you bumped into him in Marbella or somewhere,
Pick up.
it would be you'd like that. You'd have a pint, and it would be exactly the same.
Yeah.
So,
and that is. So I've realised that. So I'd always just be with my mates, play, come home, go for a pint.
At what point did you think at Swindon, I can kick on again here?
Kick on or be the bollocks?
Be the bollock. Be the bollock.
When I come back after that first year,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm the kiddie. Because Bill had left and Gordon Greer had left, and then it's like, obviously, I was like, well, I'm the kiddie, like. And then they brought Vincent Pericard in.
Big Vince.
Yeah, fucking Juventus, Port, like everywhere. But he couldn't move. Vinny couldn't move.
He was same at Stoke, man.
He couldn't move. But what a lovely fella,
Yeah.
right? He was a lovely fella. But another guy in called Thomas Tavesi, who I don't even know where he is now or where he went after Swindon. But that was it. I was just like, I'm the kiddie. I'm going to play. I'm going to score the goals. And then literally just went off on it and just picked up really as the season left on. But I was much more confident in the second season. But I felt like I'd cemented it. Not getting too carried away, but like I can play in League One. This don't faze me, more of that aspect. And then when I scored straight away on the opening day and just took off again for the next 3-4 months.
And when was it when the interest started to come from higher up?
December time. I always struggled with that at the start, not at the end. When the interest came, I wanted to know. I was just a young kid. It's the first time I'd ever been involved. Like, I wanted to know.
Somebody wants me.
I'd ring the agent all the time, like, what's going on? What's going on? When I look back, I'm like, fucking stupid. But I just wanted to know. I didn't know anything about it. And then we was playing, went through Christmas, January. I scored a couple through January. Then I handed in a transfer request. Well, Hull put a bid in for me and Swindon said no. I said, well, I want to go. And they was like, no, you're not going, Danny Wilson. So my wife wrote a transfer request. I went in and give it to the fucking secretary. Playing for Swindon, I've only been a pro for 15 months. Do you know what I think I am? Joey put it in them like, there you go, do without them all.
It's last. You write it, love.
Yeah, no,
you write it, Bobby.
if I write it, they ain't got a clue what I'm fucking writing down there. So yeah, and the transfer request. Then they let that out.
Would that obviously Danny said no, but do you think he understood, or were he?
He understood. He understood because when I had a meeting with him and the chairman, like they both understood. He told me about his experiences and all that kind of stuff. But still at the time, I was like, no, I want to go, mate. I want to go. And then it was all in to go to Ipswich. I drove to Ipswich and they had a bit agreed. I drove there. Literally, as I walked in at Portland Road through the doors, agent got a phone call saying, we've just had a bid accepted from Burnley. So I was like, okay. Went in there to do, like, speak to them, deal with personal terms. And they was like, right, we're going you stay tonight and then you'll go for a medical in the morning. I was like, yeah, no problem. Walked out of there, got in the car, fucked off to Burnley. Went to Burnley. But it was a blessing in disguise because if I stayed there and went for the medical, I would have failed the medical like I failed the medical at Hull 3 years later.
Yeah, because somebody asked, was it a shoulder injury? And they asked whether it was picked up.
I've hurt my shoulder. So I had nothing wrong with my shoulders before I became pro. I dislocated it playing for Swindon. And then but when I was a kid, I tore my cartilage and the surgeon, whatever, just cut it out. So I've just got bone on bone. And I didn't think nothing. I was playing non-league. I didn't think it was going to ever affect me, like going down that route. So that's what I was thinking. If I went to Ipswich, they'd give me a full scan, shoulders, knees, ankles, all that, and they'd have picked up what it was. When I went to Burnley, didn't have none of that.
No?
Didn't have none of that. Literally just...
Touch your toes.
Literally, yeah, none of that.
The thing is, if you fail it at Ipswich, that sticks with you.
Yeah.
You know, going throughout your career.
It does stick with you, and that's why I was when the next stage, that's why I was very fortunate that when I moved to QPR, Harry was the manager.
And did it not bother you, the bone on bone? Could you not?
Sometimes it hurts, like when it's cold. Like sometimes when you open up, sometimes you have to get injection every now and then just to put some liquid.
You've done well there.
Yeah, and then and that was a scenario, mate. I went to Burnley and just played, but it never bothered me though. It was only as I got older, like you could just feel it every now and then.
Was it Eddie Howe at Burnley?
Yeah.
So he obviously remembered you from...
Yeah, I'm signed there. So me and Marvin Bartley, a lad from Bournemouth there. But then when we went for the first 6 months, it was just, I was like, what have I done? Just because the dressing room was crap. We had all the older players that was right at the end and that. I just didn't like them. They just was different to what they was different to what the older players was that I'd ever known at Swindon.
Yeah.
But these are obviously older players that had played in the Prem to a degree, been like internationals, been top championship players. And when I went in there, they'd ran the club. Then when Eddie was there, they didn't like the fact that Eddie was the manager and they was older. Clark Carlisle didn't like him. Graham Alexander, I thought he was a whopper.
Snap.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Was Caldwell there?
No, he'd left by the time then. Ross Wallace was there. So I didn't mind Ross in the end, but at the start, I wasn't a big fan of him. Danny Fox, Chris Eagles was there. Like all them kind of people, and I just didn't really click with them. It wasn't until the summer come, he'd obviously got rid of them. And then that was when I was much better. I felt much more comfortable then.
Before we move on, were you at the Cheltenham?
Swindon.
It's Swindon, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, when he ran on the thingy.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that. I think it's been said a lot of times. Mate, again, this is what I go back to of saying about it all being true. Like, everything they've said is true, mate. Like, we was with Betfair. So the owners, some who had shares in Betfair was with Swindon. And obviously we played Southampton on the Tuesday and beat them. We all went there. He was up in a box and he was like, "Oh, everyone just put 50 quid and I'll run on the pitch, on the track, like bollock naked." Like, yeah, fine. All right.
I'd have even paid
Like,
100.
all right. Next minute, he's like, fucked off with a young lad called Kurt Hammond.
What age is Billy? Yeah.
This is my first season, so he could be 25, 26. But Cheltenham to Swindon is like 40 minutes. But as we all know what Cheltenham races is, like, it's, he's a footballer regardless of like the level you're playing at, yeah? And someone's going to know the spot. Mate, he's jumped over the rail. He's ran 100 yards bollock naked and Klingsman over the finishing line. Jumped back, as he's jumped back over the rail, we've obviously all gone in thinking, right, he's done. Honestly, 2-3 minutes, he's back in. He's back in the box, fully suited. Just like took all the money. It was like the most bizarrest thing ever, mate. It was like a throwaway comment. I'll get on there. And everyone's like, yeah, all right. Down the stairs. I don't even know if he must have got, when I think about it, he must have just ran, when he got to the track, he must have just whipped all his gear off there and then. There's no way he could have went from the toilet and ran through everyone. So he must have just got naked at the track, jumped on, ran 100 yards, jumped off, just grabbed all his clothes and just got them on whilst he was running back in.
Has he left his clothes with the lad? Like,
yeah, the young lad.
You hold them for me. You stay there.
But this young
Nearly
lad, Kurt,
folded.
yeah, but this young lad, Kurt, would have done anything for Bill. Yeah, this young lad, yeah, he'd have done anything.
The king, wasn't he?
He would have done anything for Bill. So yeah, mate, that when he went on that.
What point in the race day
finished?
So the racing
It was like last race 5:30.
Last finish.
Yeah, but I'm saying 5:30 last race. I'm saying Bill's in the starting blocks at 5:45, mate. No, we're not talking an hour later. We're like 15 minutes. So there's still
Everyone's
people.
still out.
Yeah, there's still people there, and there was still a lot of people there. Because you remember when they had all that rubbish that happened a couple of years later, when Matey Boy was having a piss on the. So that was like a couple of years before, wasn't it? So. It was only till after that when everyone was like, right, after the last race, all the bars shut after like half. No, this was like still going. So there was still loads of people around. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't bright daylight, but the sun had obviously gone down. And if you could have, how it hasn't.
Did it never come out in the press or anything?
Mate. Never come out, and no one see him.
But that's credit to Bill, because he's obviously thought about his getaway plan, hasn't he? He's thought, because I think, did he go in the toilet? I think he might have gone into the toilet quickly and put his gear on and just came out as a normal. But he's thought about it before. But
that's like not even. You're not even getting done a little bit for that, are you? You're getting fucking arrested and the lot. That's a proper. You're in bother.
Yeah.
Decent exposure.
Yeah.
With 60,000 people there. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, insane, mate.
Going on to Burnley, 16 goals in your first season. You say you didn't enjoy it.
No, the first. What helped me, which sounds daft, I got injured 3 games in. I done my shoulder, so I had to go for an operation. So I didn't play for 6 months, like when I was in that first bit. I signed 3.5 years. So that kind of helped me. I could watch and kind of see the difference between the Championship and League One. Then when I come back from pre-season, I was a disgrace. Right, I'd come back from injury. I wasn't fit. I just didn't do any of the training. I was Swindon. We didn't get a training plan or nothing like that. I was just eating what I wanted. I'll come back, and I was Jesus. I think the goalie beat me in the league test. He
used to beat me fucking every time.
So Eddie Howe weren't very happy with me at the time. My luck was Martin Patterson got injured on the first day of the season in the first half, and I'd come on and scored, and I didn't know anything about it. Cross come in, defender went to clear it, just hit me and went in. I was off the duck egg, so I didn't. Do you know what I mean? I was off and running, so it was a perfect start, and then literally took off. took off in that first season when I was just back. I was scoring the goals.
We were there with the sheep herding.
Yeah, that was the following one. Mental. When we went to Bath University, mate. We're like, right, we're going pre-season Burnley, got a few quid, like must be going abroad somewhere. Bath.
It's close though, and it's not that far from here.
No, not far from here, no. But when you're living up there, it's the full uni, right? So we've gone to Bath Uni. Brilliant, right? It was lovely. Like, all the setup and that was obviously amazing. Then we went sheep herding. But what's it what they call you when they just give you a compass and a map?
Oh, like orienteering.
So we've done a bit of that and all. Do you know what I mean? It was just like stupid. Then we went sheep herding. And what are we doing here? And we was literally in a big circle, like trying to gather these sheep in. One of these sheep like lost its fucking head and just died. I don't know who he come flying towards. It was like the manager, the Eddie, there was Jason, and I think it was like Michael Duff was there, and this sheep just like they head towards him and they shit themselves and jumped out. Like, we were footballers. I get it was like team bonding that. I fucking herding sheep, and no one knew what was going on. Do you know what I mean? It was such a strange scenario. Being in that moment in a field trying to herd sheep and that, like, what the fuck is going on, man?
I see him every week on Match of the Day, but I don't know the fella. What's he like, Tyndall?
I liked him. When you're there with, and this is when you see him every day on Match of the Day, or only see like the clip of him, you're like, what a dick. Like, he's not like,
Belter.
But when you get to know him and that, and you're with him every day, he's an all right fella.
I thought it must be the case. He couldn't. He wouldn't survive that long
if
he was
I mean.
a belter. But he'd get found out.
But you'd get found out in the change room. The manager takes him everywhere. So if he was a belter, like, he wouldn't be getting in the situation he was in, especially in the scenario he's in now with the top end players. Get found out even more. So I think he plays up to it or whatever, but he's a top fella, yeah.
I'd like to think he does it all on purpose.
Yeah, just definitely. I like it when he just jumps
camera
in front of Eddie and tries to shake the manager's hand before. That tickles me. Like, he's like the boss and that tickles me. Mate.
I'm pleased you've said he's all right, actually.
Yeah, I liked him. Don't get me wrong, he's not everyone's cup of tea, right? That's fine. But I thought he was a top fella, me, yeah.
You said about that dressing room and the older lads not getting. Did you eventually get a few?
Well, they left. They all left. And then Burnley kind of started. That was like the start then of the change. So when Eddie brought in Kieran Trippier, he brought in Ben Mee. They'd obviously come in. Jason Shackle had come in from Derby. He was the captain. Danny Ings come then, and Sam Vokes come like 6 months before. So he brought in like younger players, but obviously he had a vision of what he'd wanted, yeah. So then it all kind of changed. So then the older people that was more with the top older but had to kind of lower down than what they was, because there was obviously more youngsters than what there was for the older ones then. Then he brought in lad Junior Stanislas and Zavon Hines from West Ham. So he brought in good youngsters, and then we just kind of took off then.
Well, then Dyche came in. So did Dyche reap the rewards from them signings, do you think?
A bit of both, yeah. Definitely. He come in. So it was the summer. Then he come in November, December
Is that when he just left?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it was
just left.
personal reasons that he just left. And I was fuming when he left. Not like it's not because he left. I had fucking 20 goals by November. I was flying. And then he'd left for personal reasons. And then Dyche come in, and I was just like, oh, fucking hell, what's this going to be like? She just didn't really know anything about the time. I remember the first training session, Kieran Trippier hit a ball 60 yards at training and hit him on the back of the Swede. Like, hit him on the back. As we were walking up, he's like, I'm just going to hit one. Hit him on the back of the head, right? And he literally just turned around. Fair play to me. He's like, it just addressed the whole group and went, that's your fucking one. He was just like, that's your one. For as long as I'm in charge, that is your one. And then that was it. Nothing got obviously said after.
What was the reaction? Because I'm imagining one of them where everybody just turns. Like,
Lads, just to tie the shoelace.
Well, it must have been for like Kieran, because you watch it and then you feel like this ball's going, now that's got a chance or whatever. But when you strike one, you're thinking, fuck, that's it.
Yeah.
As soon as that must have left his boot, he's gone, I've hit him here. That's hit him. And so it was just, and all the lads were like, fuck, what's he going to say? But he was fine. And then he took over, really. He was really good to the season. Like, Peter Atler was mid-table. And then in the summer, that's when he kind of like added a couple in. But for my admiration for him was for my own personal thing when we was in the summer when I went to Hull. because when I failed that medical, that's when, as much as I was fond of him when he is as a manager, I see a different side of him when I failed the medical. Because a couple of days before, I went back and trained for like a week. I knew I was going. I just finished with 28 goals. I was like, I'm off. And he was fine with it. Bid got agreed. It was a Saturday morning. I'd like said bye to everyone. Went there to do the medical on the Sunday, and they put in a scanner, fine. Come back, and he was like, but it didn't scan my knees, they just scanned my shoulders, and that was all fine. Then when I led on the physio bed, he was like, I can put my hand under, because I can't straighten my leg. He's like, I can put my hand under your knee. He's like, you got a problem? I was like, when I was like kidding that, this was like, it's like, right, back up to Leeds for another scan. Anyway, come back, and the chairman was just like, no, I can't pay the money, not pay him £4 million for him, like, because they got stung with bullard.
Yeah, can you remember who the chairman were? Was it Adam Pearson?
No, it was the Egyptian guy.
Yeah,
him. But the physio was the ex-Liverpool physio. I think it was Rob someone. And then when I come back and I'd rang him and said, look, deal's done. He was like, right, go home for 5 days and then meet us at Manchester Airport. We're going to Dublin for pre-season, or Cork for pre-season. And I went, and then when I landed, like, I spoke to him for like an hour on it. Because I thought that was it. But everyone has a medical, right? So if you fail one, that's it. Like you said, when he travels around with you, I honestly thought that I'm done. I honestly thought that was it. Every time I go medical, I'm going to fail one. Like, no chance. And he spoke to me, he said, right, with pre-season, just train as hard as you can. Doesn't matter if you're here or somewhere else, then like, you need to get it done. They offered me a new deal in that, but I was just, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I just didn't, as much as I could have. I was just, no, I'm not going to do it.
Because they've obviously got potential replacements, haven't they, lined up, ready to go?
They had everyone to go. Sam was obviously still in the building, and so was Danny Ings. They was both there. But they was trying obviously to get. That's when I left. I think actually Barnes come in. I think it was then or 6 months later. But he was brilliant. He was fine with me. Then Nottingham Forest come and was like, "Can you come here when you do this?" But it just didn't feel right. And then that's when Harry rang to the agent, and I was just like, well, I'm going to fail medical. And he's like, no, it'll be fine. I remember on the Thursday I went down there after having all the scans, sat in the waiting room, and the doc come out. He just met like the QPR physio, so he was going up the stairs, and it looked like he'd just seen a ghost. So God knows what was on them scans, right? God knows what was on. It looked like he'd seen a ghost. Yeah, all fine. Went back to the hotel. Back there the next morning, and I'm literally doing all the stuff, and the phone rings. He said, I've got to take this charge. Okay, picked it up. Then it was Harry saying, why is this taking so long? Asking if he wants to wear number 9. And the doctor was like, do you want to wear number 9? I was like, yeah, right. He said, yeah, he'll wear number 9. Put the phone down. He said, well, this is a waste of time, then that's done.
Harry must have had that much power within the club. Like you said, other sanctions from owners, not an issue with Harry.
And that was it. I was done.
I don't know what it's like now. It might have changed now, but that used to be the case. The manager could just rip.
The manager used to run the show, mate. Now all of a sudden there's this the director of football does everything now, isn't it?
I've seen Dean Saunders. If you got Dean Saunders talking during your medical, you'd passed because he'd just talk and you'd miss your scan or something, and then you've signed.
Yeah.
So we get in with the manager.
I failed my medical at all. I never passed a medical from being 23.
Yeah.
Failed every medical, but I'm just looking at this. Managers go on games as well.
Yeah.
So here you've done 54 at Swindon, 82 Burnley. So you've done 140 games near enough in 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So some managers think.
Yeah. The only time I started like the stopping bit was when I went to Southampton on the games bit, because I dislocated my shoulder again, so I had to go for another surgery, and I snapped my tendon in the hamstring. So it was nothing. That wasn't nothing connected. I've never had anything connected to the knee. Do you know what I mean? So I was always playing. It was always something else. So then, and then when I went to QPR, that was a complete eye opener out of everything.
What was Harold like?
I liked him because he gave me everything. Like, he made me feel top of the world. He had all the belief. As much as he had all the superstars in there, it's like, you're my number 9. Like Bobby Zamora was in there. Andy Johnson was there. Kevin Doyle, they was all there, and I was there. Played international, played numerous games in the Premier League. He was like, "No, you're my number 9."
Because even though you've been climbing, this is a different pool.
That point was a complete. When I said to when I went to Burnley, it was like they had Premier League appearances in that and there. This was a completely different pool of players. When I went in that dressing room, and you're looking around, and like Tarap's in there, and Stefan Mbia's in there, and all that. Stefan Mbia went on to win back-to-back Europa Leagues with Seville when he left QPR. Do you mean the club was just Sean Wright-Phillips was in there, Joe Barton was in there, Richard Dunn. There was internationals in there, so it was a completely different pool of players.
And would you say it was a good? I know that we've heard different things about that dressing room, but did you find it a good dressing room?
Yeah, yeah, like it is. I'm glad you said that because it is down to personal preference, isn't it, of how you felt at the time. I also played. I also done well in that time. I felt comfortable in the dressing room, like with them in the end. Like when I got back, as soon as I scored, then I felt comfortable. I don't know what it is with strikers. You just want to get off the duck egg as quickly as possible, don't you? Just when I scored my first, I was fortunate again. It was against Exeter. Ball come out. Jermaine Genius hit a volley, hit me on the shin and went in. That was it. I was away.
Here we go again.
Yeah, and then I was away then. Do you know what I mean? No one thought I'm still waiting. I need to get that goal. That was it. But they was good as gold with me also, like the players and that, when I went in there.
You never find it clicky?
No. There's every chance it could. There was groups, and there every chance there was, but I was just, maybe I was naive at the time or whatever. I just got on with everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you realised you're a professional footballer in Premier League yet?
No. Like, at this point, this was still the championship.
Right.
This bit was still at the championship.
That is getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Right. Have you realised you're a fucking championship professional footballer?
I got you. No. Yes. Yeah, I have done because I've done well at Burnley. It was like the point of right, I can do it here. But it was more the players of getting fitted in with the players because it was a different type. Done well through the season. Then obviously we got promoted, and then I'm like, when that whistle went, I'm like, Premier League player. What is going on here? I just dropped to my knees that day we beat Derby. Yeah.
Going to have a very quick break, gentlemen, to bring a message from Saley.
What is Saley, Chris?
What is Saley? But I'm glad you asked me, John. It's the eSIM that you just install on your phone, get on the Saley app, get the eSIM on your phone. Perfect for going abroad. I know you've used it recently, haven't you, Chris? I
used it in Portugal and I saved probably 10 times the amount that I would have paid for data roaming.
Because it's like an hidden bloody
cost.
Yeah, it's an hidden extra to your holiday, innit?
Wasn't relying on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just straight
which was
on
a big thing.
Ideal. You take it for granted, don't you, that you can, when we have our phones at home, you can get internet wherever you want, but then when you go abroad, you've got them roaming charges. As soon as you get to airport, you're getting new SIMs or whatever. None of that with Saley. Just go into the app, turn on your eSIM, internet, wherever you are.
It was very good. Highly recommend.
Because, I mean, depending on how many's going, everybody's got a phone, haven't they? If I go on holiday with family, there's 6 phones going.
Yeah, good point.
So 6 times your roaming charges and all that.
And as well as that, there is the extra web protection as well, which keeps you secure no matter what you're browsing.
Which is important.
Oh, is it? You don't want people, especially abroad, you don't want people getting into your bank details and stuff like that. It'd be a nightmare contacting your bank and everything. Yeah, so all you need to do is download the Saley app in the App Store, scan the QR code or click on the link in the description. Using the code COSH, get 15% off your first purchase.
That will pay for itself in a day.
Yeah. Kids, you get home, oh my God, what have you lot been doing?
Yep, exactly. It's happened to me many, many times.
It cost price at bloody holiday.
I'd hang my hat on it. You won't be disappointed.
Scan the QR code, link in the description, download the Saley app in the App Store. Code COSH. Really forgot that then.
Point.
How are you coming from Burnley, Swindon, now you're in London? You know, people talk about the bright lights of the city and all
Smoke,
that.
Yeah. You can tell where players get lost there, mate. Something's going on all the time.
You said before about the
forks
in the road.
Yeah, because there's something going on every night. Something is literally going on in London every night, and you can see why people turn left or down the straight road. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the scenario of it. And it wasn't until that summer when I actually see Adele properly. Like, you hear all the stories about him. I see him training. Like, he was fantastic. But you could see that off the field, it was starting to play a bit of a problem. But he was a phenomenal talent. But I just remember being there when I remember being there when I met Lloyd Remy. Literally, I'd signed. I'd been like, right, Lloyd, we'll play together. And that he's like, oh, no, I'm going to Newcastle on loan. I'm like, what? He's like, no, I'm going to Newcastle now. I was like, all right, brilliant. Went in there. I was like, Adele, we played together, like, you know, when you first go in there, he's like, didn't know anything. So we played together this year. He's like, no, I'm going to Fulham on loan. I was like, fucking hell, well, it's basically everyone's going. He come back in January thinking, he's going to help us like get promoted, and fucked off to AC Milan, play Champions League football. Do you know what I mean? It was just such a surreal change room, completely different personalities everywhere. And that's why when you speak to a lot of people, that's why their thoughts on the change room is very different to everybody.
But you forget that he got promoted. People talk bad of that changing room, but he's got up.
Mate, we got it done. Yeah, because I think it was more of it. Everyone thought we should win the league by 20 points.
Yeah.
It don't happen. Let's be real. It don't really happen. Like the team we had was phenomenal. Leicester were brilliant the year they went up, and then Burnley come second. So Burnley basically benefited. They fucked me off 2 days before the season started and come second anyway. So that was it. And then we obviously finished fourth, and we had a great team. We had experience. I think in the playoff final, in the QPR starting 11, I was the only person not to play in the Premier League. That's how strong the team was. Rob Green was in goal. Danny Simpson left back. Nader Manua, Richard Dunn, Clint Hill, Nico Cranchar, Gary O'Neill, Joey Barton, Carl Henry, me and Kevin Doyle.
It would have been criminal if you didn't go up, really, wouldn't it?
When
you've just read that out.
It'd have been. I think the club it ended up in years after it would put themselves in a financial difficulty. But if they didn't go up, it would have really done the club in.
I can't see Clint Hill. I can't see him accepting any shit in the dressing room. He must have had to bite his lip. He must have been so frustrated with it all.
Yeah, I think it was. But there was other people in there that were strong characters also. So as much as he had to bite his lip, like people see Bob and that, like Zamora and stuff, Bob had a lot to say also. Like if it wasn't running, everything wasn't going well, he would say something. You had Richard Dunn in there that would say the same. Joey, obviously, Carl Henry. We even had Yossi Benayoun. He's a playing for everyone. Like, I remember being in there one day.
It's a strong dressing room.
Honestly, players were just coming. I'm in one day, coming from training. I'm sat in the dressing room, mess about my phone, and look up. Next to me is Carl Henry. A black bin is turned over, and then Yossi Benayoun's there, and them two are sat there playing fucking backgammon. Mate, they used to play backgammon after training 3-4 times a week, mate. Just playing backgammon. And I was like, what is going on here, mate? Like,
I don't even know what it is
going on here? Like, I wouldn't even know how to play. I watched him for 10 months, didn't even know what's going on.
But you like a dominoes type thing?
It's the board, isn't it, with the lines?
Move him up. Oh, I don't even know, mate. I don't even know. But we had the players was just ridiculous. Like the team, we should have went up. We did. We got it done in the end. Skin of our teeth.
That's a team of leaders. Them names you mentioned, then
that's what
consider them all leaders.
That's what got us over the line.
Yeah.
We had a guy come in called Blackie, who'd passed away now, but he'd worked with like New Zealand.
Steve
Black with the All Blacks. And he was really good for the group. He's what the group needed. As much as the group had leaders, Harry kind of like left the lads to it. He was the one that galvanised it and got everyone together. He was phenomenal.
To be fair, it's not as bad as when you've read that team out. I even neared them. Gary O'Neill, they're like good lads.
Yeah.
It was after that it went, when Basing were and...
Yeah, that was like before. That was like...
That's what I was thinking.
Do you know what it says? He was there when I turned up. I couldn't get the ball over the halfway line. I'm not even joking.
What was this? Cesar?
Yeah. But he was looking out the window while he was playing like in the 23s game. And when that striker comes spruce air at the goalie all keen, this young lad. Anyway, Cruyff turned the young lad and just passed it out. Ball come back to him, he went and do it again. This young lad just took the ball off him, just rolled it in the net. He didn't care, mate. Like, he didn't care. And then he went on loan to Toronto, I want to say, for 6 months, just so he could be match fit, etc., to play in the World Cup for Brazil in 2014.
So he's just come to QPR and absolutely tossed it.
Oh, he had the biggest jolly up, mate. biggest jolly up, yeah.
See, it was a Brazilian World Cup goalkeeper.
At QPR, mate. And at Hasenhüttl, pulling up at Harlington. QPR didn't even own the training ground, mate. Like, that's what he was turning up to.
Who was your least favourite manager at QPR?
Hasselbank. Just didn't like him. I couldn't get on with him. it was more of, he knew I only had 6 months left, and he knew I was waiting to go. We just clashed straight away. He centre forward, I thought he was going to bring something to the table for me. He brought fuck all. Like, he brought nothing to the table for me. And just the way he spoke to lads. And also he changed training around. He was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, in Friday, game Saturday. We play on a Tuesday, and everyone ran on the Wednesday. It was, he said, oh, this is what we used to do in Italy and all this. And it was just like, oh, you're an idiot.
What, even if you played on the Tuesday
Yeah,
night?
you had to just almost go for like a trot, like a good 25, 30-minute trot around a training ground. He was just someone that I just really didn't like.
And did a lot of the lads not like him?
Yeah, didn't like him at all. And he'd flog the lads, like get right after him, like in the running. You know, when we talk about running Tuesday, we'd run, if we didn't have a game midweek, they'd run on Wednesday. We're talking 8K a Tuesday, 10K days Wednesday, training. Like, so he just had this thing about getting fit, and the lads just couldn't buy into it.
He's still getting the job at flipping England, isn't he?
It's the most bizarrest thing. Like, just, you know, it's just not people's cup of tea. Me and him just clashed, and so when I got given the thumbs up to go to Southampton, I was delighted to tell him. I was delighted to tell him that I'm off, and just walked out, and then not seen or heard or spoke to him since.
To be fair, that Premier League season, obviously QPR relegated, but personally, 18 goals in the Premier League.
Mate, I can Delap scores 12 for Ipswich. I can get 20 million moved thingy. Yeah.
To thingy.
To Chelsea. Club world champion now, isn't he? Jesus Christ. No, but honestly, it's got 80. And I missed 2 pens. A Premier League debut against Hull, missed a pen. I thought that was it. And that was like the first time you actually realise, match a day, goals on Sunday. It was everywhere, mate. I missed a penalty. I was like, but yeah, went through that, scored 18. I was flying. I was doing well. I think that Aguero scored. Diego Costa, someone else than me.
Joking apart, was there any interest from, you know, when you said you like to ring your agent?
Newcastle was, there was big interest through Newcastle, and it just didn't materialise in the end.
And you're right, that's fucking England tackle. If an Englishman scores 18 in the Premier, like, you're getting linked with England and all kinds.
4.5, 5 years ago, you were at Poole Town.
No, mate, mental, wasn't it?
Carry it, brick.
Yeah, mate, mental. I think I ended up with, by the time I got to the Premier League after that 1 year at QPR, I think it was over 100 goals, in the time. Wow. I was flying. And then I'd done the thing where I'd scored the goals, and I was like, I just couldn't believe it. It was just happening. And we weren't very good in the Prem either. But that was when the Prem, you had to get 35 points. Now, they struggle to get over 20, don't they? Like the teams that's coming up. And I thought, something happened. And then I went with England, got an England call up in the summer, but just didn't get a cap, that's my only, like, when I look back on my career, like, how did I not? Got 18 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah.
At the time, don't get me wrong, what he's done in his career now is no one can speak about, right? But at the time, Jamie Vardy only scored 5. We got called up at the same time. He scored 5 and I'd scored 18, and he got a cap and I didn't. And it was just like, that bit was just like, we only played Ireland. It's 0-0. Everyone got on. Fucking any chance. And then when we went to Slovenia in the World Cup qualifying, I watched Jack Wilshere play, one of the best performances I've ever seen live.
He could have been right up there with his without his injuries.
Yeah.
Who did you like playing against in the Prem? This might be a random question.
Arsenal. That's who I scored most of my goals. Ended up scoring 9 or 10 against Arsenal.
Because I asked Troy that question and he said exactly the same thing.
It's just something that just clicked. Every time I seen him play, I'd score. I was mad. But the ones I didn't like, the easy ones, don't like to play against, is the top teams, right? Because it's just a run around. Because they keep the ball so well.
Yeah.
And when we played against Arsenal, mind you, when I played against Arsenal when I was at QPR, it was, one was a penalty and one was just like a late finish to 2-1. But then when I played them for Southampton, the Southampton team and the QPR team was almost chalk and cheese. As much as we talk about the names in the QPR team, what was at Southampton at the time when we played was like a different conversation, really.
What about individual players? Who did you not mind playing against? Who you'd think is a top, but you thought, I've got your number here?
Koscielny. Whenever I played against him, I just thought, I've got a chance here.
And what about the opposite? Who you've thought?
John Terry. He don't get enough credit. He does get enough. He doesn't get enough credit, right? Because everyone just sees him as like this leader warrior. There was so much more to him. He could play. He could play ball at his feet. Yeah, he put his head on the line and dive in there, make tackles and that. But he could play and pass the ball around for sure.
Did you play that when we played in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
And he'd let you take a touch. Like he wouldn't fight you. That was the worst thing. You know, being big lads.
Yeah.
We like you could not feel him, and then you take your touch and he'd just appear and take the ball off you.
She'd probably seen a video of us and thought, that's probably the best option, that. They'll never touch it, be fucking 4 yards away from her. Just let them have it. I actually got his shirt that game.
Yeah.
And then the day after it came out about
all the stuff, yeah.
Obviously what came out. And I think to myself, I don't know if the shirt's gone up in value or down in value. I don't know where it am with. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's more sacred to me or not. I came and putting it on. I think it was a large. Might have been a medium, you know, it must have been slim. Because it was like that, you know, like Vicky Pollard. And I just got the poncho. My belly was just hanging up the top of me. And I had to put the cards.
What a debut.
Yeah.
For Southampton.
Yeah, mate. I got signed by Ronald Koeman. That was the most signed by Ronald. 8 years ago, mate, I was carrying 12 bricks in a hod. Next minute, I'm getting signed by Ronald Koeman. It was like mad. And then went to, maybe debut at Old Trafford.
How was he?
I liked him. He was very strict, firm. He had the aura of walking in the room. Like, he owned the room when he walked in. Everyone kind of...
In a scared sort of way, or a...
Respect.
It was more respect more than scared. No one... On the scared side, no one ever went over the line. But he had control of the room. Was good respect for everyone. And I think that's why the team did so well for him.
I feel like that's a Dutch thing, though. A lot of Dutch managers, you think, you've got a bit...
Almost arrogance in it, though. They say the Dutch arrogance.
On the cusp.
Yeah.
And that was it. And they just went there. I remember, do you know, a feeling, listen to this, a feeling fell out Saturday morning. You know, I'm in the hotel room and I feel it, and mate, I've got a chronic toothache. I must have took 3-4 diclofenacs. I'm just falling asleep. Set my alarm light to go for the meeting. I went down to meet him, come back up. My tooth was obviously cut. I must have about 6 or 7 of them diclofenacs or whatever before we played. Anyway, he called me back. Like, the game was going on. I was thinking, this is mental. That's amazing. Anyway, he called me back. He's going on. I come on for Sadio Mane. I made my debut. Won a free kick in the corner and just scored. It's fucking unreal, mate.
It still sounds a bit surprised now.
I think when I look back, because still bits, like when I look back at that point, I'm like, fucking hell, yeah. Now my son's mad for the football. And obviously he wasn't around when that was going on. He'd look, like Old Trafford, like Amber. I'm like, yeah, mate, I scored there, I played there. And he's like, what? And that's on YouTube, like looking at it. But yeah, when I scored my debut at Old Trafford, that was fucking phenomenal, mate. What best place to score on your debut is perfect. And win 1-0. It's like, welcome to the... Because you kind of going off, say, the season I just had in the Premier League, and then for the first game I'd turn Southampton, I'd scored 4 million. Lovely. Happy days.
Could you say how good Mane was?
No. Not at the time. When Liverpool signed him in the summer for the money, you're like, that's a lot of money. When they signed for like 30 million, that was when 30 million was like a lot of money. It was a lot of money, when now it's almost like
it's all right.
We'll do it. He couldn't really... He was raw. He was fucking rapid, obviously, and he was raw. And he could do stuff in training. Be like, bloody hell! Oh, then he'd go the other way, and he'd be like, oh my god. And then when he went to Liverpool, obviously, he just rocketed, and that was it. But you could see the difference with the top end. Where you say Tadic, for argument's sake, you could see that straight off the bat.
Because he went Ajax. He went. Tadic.
Yeah, he won the show when he went there, mate. Yeah. Liverpool. Southampton let him go. He had, I think, a year left or 2 years left on his deal, and they let him go. He only went to Ajax. He was involved in the good team. That was the same as like Verge, really. I didn't really see it with Verge for the first 6. He was a really good, solid defender. But then when we come back from that summer, that's when he kind of stepped it up and played the season the way he just was fucking head and shoulders better.
How do you step it up?
No, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it wasn't even like he got big, 6+ anyway. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like he got big or put any muscle. Like, it wasn't that. It was just, everything just become very easy. And it's like he doesn't try. He lets you have half a yard on him. You get the ball first. Wherever your next touch is going, I know where it is before you, like that. He reads the game as phenomenal.
And you're playing against him every day. Like,
every
must
day.
have improved
yeah,
you.
it made you miles better. Like, do you know what I mean? You're playing against him because you had to be in different ways of it. Jose Font was there. He was brilliant for the football club. I think he was really good for Virgil as well, because he was like the old, as much as come from Portugal, and he was like an English centre half, as such, like to get stuck in with. As much as Virg did, he could play with like a little bit less pressure on him.
It's mad because we played against him at
He
Charlton.
one of them players who I like to play against at Palace.
I played against Charlton.
And then he went to Southampton for age, and then the rest of he was at
I
Southampton.
didn't mind. I used to play against him.
It's mad, isn't it, man?
And he was there like, I think he was at Southampton for 8.5, 9 years.
Won the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah, him and Cedric Suarez won the Euros. Yeah, they didn't play one group game. They got through, and then they both got in the quarterfinals and won the Euros.
What were they like as lads, Van Dijk and Mane?
I didn't really get to know Sadio very well, but Virg was a nice guy. But he'd come in, train. When he was in training, he was nice. But that's who always wanted to go home. Proper family orientated people. So you didn't really see a lot of him outside of football.
Did he have his little ponytail then?
Yeah.
Like, must have got a bit of stick on it, surely. He looks fucking terrible. I'll tell him now. If I saw him now, I'd tell him.
Because he was running this, like, everything was just, it's like, don't worry about that. And it was just phenomenal. Ryan Bertrand, he played left back. He won the fucking Champions League. Played one game in Champions League, won it. How about that one? Played the final. Happy day. That team was just phenomenal, really. It was. And then fast forward, say, 18 months when I signed, majority of the players had left. Like the top end ones. Wanyama had gone to Tottenham. Jose had gone to West Ham. Virgil obviously gone to Liverpool. Sadio had gone to Liverpool. Tadic had gone to Ajax. It was just a big overall. And then when they tried to do that, the recruitment to replace them signings, it was never happening. Like, you unearth Sadio Mane, great. You unearth Virgil van Dijk, give Tadic a chance. Fucking hard to replace them for like to like, really, ain't it? Do you know what I mean? Without spending the money or getting very lucky again. And the players they brought in just wasn't.
Who was it? Who did they bring in?
A fellow in called Guido Carrillo. They brought that Wesley Hoyt in from somewhere in Holland. He's at Watford now. He was a Wally. He was a Wally. I remember he was a Wally, mate. I remember he would annoy the lads at Saturday. I remember being sat like in where the swimming pool area was, and I said to him, "Wes, how have you turned 24 lads against you? 24 lads don't like you." He's like, "Yeah, but 25 are in the team." I said, "Yeah, but you're the 25th, mate." But honestly, like, he hated like everyone. He's just. I think it was, the Dutch are, they're very firm and the way they are, they're arrogant, but he was like too much, and the lads just thought he's dick. And he thought he was way better than what he was. He thought he was way better than him. But a lad called Guido Carrillo, they brought him for 25 million. I felt sorry for him. They brought him in from Monaco, but he was nowhere near the level like to bring him in.
And would 25 million be a massive signing for Southampton then?
Yeah.
Back then, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
That's what I mean. It sounds stupid. Even before COVID, 25, 30 million is a lot of dough.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everyone goes on about money in football now, but when COVID happened, it went flip side. You can just throw in 30 millions about for anyone.
Yeah.
So, Southampton was just one of them. Then we had a big change around. Mark Hughes, Koeman come in and he left 6 months. Claude Puel come in. I actually didn't mind him. Done the first year. We finished 8th. We should have went through in the Europa League, and we got beat to United 3-2 in the League Cup final. Like, and then fucking sacked him. Like, what more do they want, really? Like that. Brought a fellow in from Pellegrini, not that one from Man City, but someone from over in Spain. And he was all over the shop. He was way out of his depth. But what he had over all the lads. So when you wasn't playing, you had the You're like, right, why aren't I playing? He said, yeah, but go and play in like the 23s. And no, I don't want to play in the 23s. And what he had back to you was, well, when I was at Liverpool, I played under Benitez, whoever it was, I played in Liverpool under 23s. And 6 months later, I got a move to Barcelona from it. So what response have you got back to him? You're there moaning about playing 23. So,
well, time kicking off, 1 o'clock Monday.
Do you know what I mean? That was it. You couldn't have no response to it. He got sacked, and then Mark Hughes come in then, and then it was just stag do, really.
Was that?
And we stayed up, and then when we went to China, it was almost like a stag do, but only because it was the World Cup was on. That was 2018. Games were obviously on first, like early hours of the morning, but also the weather and where we stayed in China was just fucking horrific. It was just horrific.
To what?
To training, to come out the hotel was nice. When you come out the hotel, you're like, oh my God. I remember walking past one of these places, like 4 or 5 of the lads walked past, and I promise you, the smell that was coming out of these gates, it smelt like the gates of hell. Mate, it was fucking horrible, mate. It was awful. We got back and then we didn't start too great, and then he got sacked, and that's when Hasenhüttl will come in.
I was going to say, you've been very complimentary about most managers you've played under, but I get the feeling.
I just didn't like. I didn't.
Was it a personal thing, or
in the end it was? In the end, definitely it was. But throughout that season, say for the 8 months, it wasn't like seemed to be everything was okay. Then when we come back from the summer, I had a year left, and he just parked me. We done all the tests like for 2 days, and then we went up like on the Saturday morning. We're going in on pre-season tour on a Monday, and he's nowhere to, like, he's not there. So we go up for lunch all there, and the board's up, all the names are on there who's going to Austria. And then there's like the bomb squad. On the bottom right, that's training the 23s. No heads up, nothing. But in the bomb squad, there was me, Geordie Classy, Mario Lamina, Gabby Adini, and that Guido Carilla. No heads up, no nothing. So I said to like Alex Gross, who was a snake also, the fitness coach, I said to him, I said, like, where's the manager? He's like, oh, he's gone. I'm like, well, you've got no bollocks. Tell us like what's, like, we're not travelling or nothing like that. He said, oh, it's not my issue. We had a race. We've done a week like with Dyche Eddie with the 23s, so it was brilliant, like with us. But as much as you're there, like 23s, you're still not getting the same output, are you, than you are with the first team. Anyway, you come back. First day we come back, go and walk through the change, like through the reception area. You have to walk past the kit mat, like the kit room, and there's 5 black bags with our names on. Like we was kicked out of change room. That's Southampton. You got the main building, and then you got like the academy building down the bottom end with the other. We all had to go down, get changed down there. And our kit, we had to pick our kit up in the morning, then we just had to just chuck it in like the bin, and when we're done, we literally just got us right out of there. So I asked him, I said, like, why am I out? And he said, like they got influence over, you've got influence. I said, really? You think I've got influence? You, the manager of the football club, over like the dressing room and that. I just said to him, you're a weak man, and I'd never want to see you ever again, mate. And then literally was just gone for it, and I hated him. He hated me in the end, and I just couldn't think anything.
Sorry, mate. You know, when you the end of the season, you've said goodbye to everybody. Yeah. Where were you at in terms of?
I had a year left, so I'm coming back
with your manager.
No, fine. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, so for the first like 8 months that he'd come in, it was almost like a used. Now I feel like used me to like get in with like the people that he needed to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I was a lot older now, so I was involved with the people that was in the dressing room. Do you know what I mean? But he, as I look back now, he like used it to be in that, to his strength more than anything. And then when I come back from the summer, I just thought, I'll just train. And if they offer me a new deal, great. If they don't, I've got a year left. So win-win.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Or even if they sell me in the summer, but I definitely didn't see myself, or I didn't do anything to be.
Yeah.
Ostracized.
Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, fucked off. I definitely didn't.
I think I'd have gone with a flight to Austria Monday morning, me. And when I knocked on his hotel door. You know, like really put it on his fucking toe.
But we just like, only because if it was me on my own, it would be like, fucking hell, that would have felt bad. But because it was like 5 of the other lads, and we was all in the same boat. Like no one had no heads up, no nothing, other than seeing it on that Saturday morning.
Could it be financial? Like we was top earners?
Yeah, it was all getting weighed in. Like, but there's other lads still getting weighed in as well. But so it could have played a part in it. But you still got to be given a heads up.
Yeah.
Just saying it. Like that's all. I still now, if you like, so if you've got a problem with someone, or this is no issue, but just say, look, this is what's going on. This is the reason why we're doing it. Okay, no, I don't like it, but.
And he obviously had the end of the season. He could have just pulled you in then and went,
yeah,
he's got 6 weeks away from you. If you want to leave.
I think he thought I was just going to leave straight away. I think he thought that I wasn't going to come back to pre-season. Right. But he was way off anyway, because the third Danny Rowe, who's now the Sheffield Wednesday manager, he used to run the show. He used to run the show, but he couldn't speak good English at the time. So he would stand on the side with Hasenhüttl, that we would train, and then he'd come in and just basically say what Danny had said.
I just want to speak about when you did the match of the day interview.
And we lost the head.
Did you know before it your head had gone?
I'm sorry to do this to you, Chuck, but can I play this?
Of course you can.
I like this version.
Now, they said it's offside, hit mine, I didn't. I hit it twice, hit me, bobbed up, that's why I done Foster. The best league in the world, the most watched league in the world. Give them all the help they need, because clearly they cost us 2 points a day. This week worked hard, come here to get 3 points. We deserve 3 points today, we've been let down by the officials, that's why we didn't get 3 points.
It's pitch perfect, isn't it?
First time I heard that was like the next day. The next day I was in the pub, it was like 11:45 or something, and I got a message through, actually from the guy who'd done it. He sent it to me on Twitter and said, I hope you don't mind, mate, but this is what I'd done. I'd done it anyway. I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. This is the best thing ever. So we played Watford, didn't we? Where it all come from, so I was on the bench, and as I was getting changed to come on, like fucking 5 seats away from me, one of our own fans said something. I couldn't gasp what he was saying, right? But he was definitely giving me a bit for like going on. I thought, right, because you put me in a foul mood. Anyway, I've scored. Ran off. As I've ran towards Jack Stevens, who's like on the bench with me. I was like, which one is it? Which one is it? And I was going to obviously give it to him, turn around, fucking, oh, sorry, mate. My head is obviously gone. I was saying to Simon Hooper, I'm saying, how can I be offside? It's not possible. I've literally kicked it into myself. It's just gone in. They flagged up because my Yoshida, they said, was in. Some head had gone. Anyway, get in after the game. They say, oh, can we like have an interview with you? And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. But I'm talking like we are now. Now, you know what it's like in the media, it's only small, ain't it? So talking about, and all of a sudden, from nowhere, I start picking up serious pace. I start picking up serious pace. No, it's a joke. But then the curtain light comes back and people's heads are like just coming around the corner. I just lost it. It just literally was red mist. I just had full red mist of the whole scenario, I think, because the fan pissed me off. I hadn't scored in a couple of games and I was dying for a goal. And then that got disallowed. And I think we were struggling down the bottom end as well. And I just lost the head, mate. I just lost the head. Didn't think nothing of it. I come out, walked to the change room, got showered and changed, went to leave. Mark Hughes went, Chas, what have you said? And I said, well, he said, they just said about your interview. I said, well, I just said about the referee. He said, don't worry about it. I've just backed you the whole way anyway. So he had my back the whole time, but it wasn't until, I'll say later on that evening, fucking 20 minutes from being in the car to being up the road, that on my phone is obviously going,
ping.
Yeah, going mad for it. But it was just literally spur of the moment thing.
I love it.
And was it a bad decision? I haven't seen
shit decision, mate.
50-50.
Don't get him fucking started, man.
Come across, yeah.
He'll let the fuse again.
Fucking get off it.
It come back, went in. Yeah, terrible decision. Terrible decision.
People love it though. It's refreshing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. I think that was the biggest thing. Like that's what I got the most out of people was like, oh, it was refreshing. Because it went through the time when everyone was just so robotic.
Yeah.
Even to the point of now just saying what it was. And I just lost the head.
Did you get stung? Fine. Or?
Nothing. So I actually didn't say anything. I didn't say at Simon Hooper, I didn't say he's having one or anything like that. I just basically said, we play in the best league in the world. They need help. The officials being let down. Like they're going about VAR this and VAR that. And so I never actually said he was.
And was that?
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that completely unintentional?
Yeah, but that was the whole.
It's an absolute cunt.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. That was why I could say it was the whole rant was unintentional. And the reason why I got away with not being punished was because I didn't say Simon Hooper is shit. Like, I didn't say the linesmen are shit. I just said they need help.
It was a well calculated argument.
Yeah, head loss. Argument straight to the point. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was it.
I've got to hear about your standoff with Tadic over the penalty.
Oh yeah, Europa League.
I can't remember it,
mate. First game. Played Sparta Prague at home. That's what I mean. Never played in Europe before, anything like that. I thought, I'm at Southampton, I'm taking penalties now. I'm taking penalties. Ball comes to me, I went to cross it in. Defender slid in and blocked it. Pretty sure it wasn't even a pen, to be honest.
That referee never got out, did he? They didn't know help.
He got a big high five in the tunnel. Don't worry about that. Anyway, so I just picked up the ball. He probably took the penalties before I come, but it was like,
I'm here.
I'm taking the penalties now. Put the ball down. Anyway, he come to take the ball. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He said, no, I'll take the penalties. I was like, no, mate, I'm taking the penalties. I picked the ball up. Joe Please obviously on the box and everything there. I put the ball down. He's like having none of it. But Verge was the captain, come and just like pushed him away. And then I scored the pen, and they come over and like celebrated at the end. But it was like we was having a full Mexican standoff, mate, over this penalty. 10 minutes into Europa League.
Were you not backing down?
No, I had the ball, mate. And every time I put the ball down and I'd stand there like waiting, and then he would come here, and next minute, I was like fucking shielding him. I was shielding the ball at penalties. No, the ball goes down like about 94th minute, wasted, winning 1-0. Your arse hold the ball in the corner. I'm doing that 10 minutes into Europa League game for the fucking penalty spot. Yeah, I was having none of it. I wasn't backing down. So no, I'm taking the penalty. Luckily, I scored.
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah. I scored, and then I scored 2 in the first half, so it kind of just buried that. And then every game going forward, Claude Puel like put a thingy up, which was just like penalty taker number 1, Charlie Austin, number 2, Dusan Tadic. So then that was it. I don't think he'd ever seen anything like it. I don't think he'd ever seen anything like it before.
So was it addressed immediately after?
No. Friday after, like the next day in the afternoon in the meeting.
Right.
But he like put it out, he's like, we can't have this no more.
Just a quick message to say a huge thank you to O'Neill's who are sponsoring us for the 3rd series.
We're here at one of the flagship stores. We're going to go in and have a look and see what it's all about.
All of the stuff is locally manufactured. We've got factories in Northern and Republic of Ireland. It just allows for premium quality, quick delivery, all custom team kits.
It's not only for the big dogs at the top, grassroots football all the way up. Like you said, Chris, the quality is fantastic.
O'Neill's themselves have been brilliant for us to work for, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, the lads who we sponsor, me personally from here, they absolutely buzz off it.
And you can see our kits here.
Oh, aye. I've seen that. I will buy that. Would you?
Yeah.
Not just because it's hard, I just think it's a really nice strip.
Go from. Oh! He knocked his head off. He's knocked his head off.
And don't forget the link is in the description. You can sort your own team out, sort your grassroots team out, and get one of these beauties. Links in the description for both of them. Massive thanks to O'Neill's.
Head loss.
Were there other options than West Brom when you left Southampton?
No, they generally weren't. Which I was all right with. I actually was all right with. I turned West Brom down in the start of July. So I was like, I don't want to do the Championship. But I didn't think that I'd have the summer that I did, you know what I mean, with Southampton. I was like, I don't want to do the thing. And then they just come back in. I was like, let's just do it. I think it was more down to the finances at the time. I was like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to drop off the money that I'm on.
Yeah.
To be fair, West Brom were good. And so was Southampton, like in the end. And that was it. I just agreed the deal and got 2 years big slab.
To be fair, if you look at the squad,
Yeah,
you're
again.
thinking it's a
That was
year,
the thing
innit?
as well. Do you know what I mean? That was the thing. I looked at the squad. I wouldn't have went there if that wasn't the squad we had. Like we went there and we had, Gareth Barry was still there. Fronty was there. Jake Livermore was there. Carl Bartley. Sam Johnson was a goal. And then we signed the lad, Mateus Pereira. Obviously no one had heard about. And when he came, he was just fucking unbelievable. Mate.
Was it?
He was unbelievable, mate. Like I think he ended up with 20. I want to say he ended up with 20 assists and about 16 goals. I think the only person to beat him like on that from midfield was Adele. In that season when they went up with QPR.
Yeah.
I think he was the only ones that's above him like in the season. He was phenomenal.
Where's he at now?
He went to Saudi, then he went all the way back to Brazil, I think. Like he just made his dough. But he was good in the Premier League like the following one, so he was good. So we had a solid team. Kieran Gibbs played at left back. So we had a solid team there and a couple of good youngsters through their academy that played. And again, if COVID didn't happen and there wasn't that break, we'd have pissed the league. When we come back from COVID, we were a shambles.
What, were you ever in doubt of dropping out of the top 2?
Yeah, it went right to the end.
Did it?
We played on the Friday, 2 games to go. We played Huddersfield on the Friday night and lost 2-1. And Brentford played Stoke on the Saturday, early kickoff. But if they'd won, they'd went a point in front of us or 2 points in front of us, something like that. They lost 1-0. Keeper made over save like right at the end, tipped around the post. So we're still in our hands. We've got QPR on the Wednesday, and they've got Barnsley like the same thing.
That's when Barnsley scored late on, isn't it?
Yeah.
To stay up.
We were watching it.
watching it. Yeah.
Barnsley won 2-0 against Brentford, and we drew 2-2. So our game had finished, and we're like, we fucked it. As much as we knew Barnsley were winning 1-0, we was like, we fucked it. And then the whistle went, and that was it. It said we'd gone up, and it was. But it was a weird feeling again. Like you're in the stadium, it was just the players and the staff on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Just waiting around, and that was it. Even like after we went to the hotel and had like a few beers after. I remember get back in the car 6:30 in the morning, drove back home.
Was there any? I mean, you've got promoted, but you've kind of limped over. Was there any of that?
Fell
like
over,
a bit
mate. Yeah, fell over.
Not limping.
Fell over. I remember saying to Slav, this is in COVID, in a meeting, and this was actually the Saturday morning. So we played Huddersfield on the Friday. It was in Saturday morning for like recovery or whatever. Then we was off and back on the Monday, and we was in a meeting, and I said it's your fault in front of everyone. I look back and probably shouldn't have said. I knew what I was saying. But it definitely didn't
Came out the wrong way.
It definitely came out the wrong way.
Didn't get lucky this time.
So basically what I was saying was, I said, it's your fault. You've shit yourself. You've got nervous, which he did, and you could see as it was going on. Problem is, it's filtered into the staff, and then it's filtered into the players. As much as you have that squad, we couldn't string wins together. I think in the 10 games of COVID, I think we only won 3 games. And I said, you've made us all shit ourselves. And
How did it go down?
And he didn't, it went like a lead balloon. And then
I don't think it could have gone any other way, really.
Because everyone's in this meeting. It wasn't just me and him talking. It was like everyone in there. So I've obviously confronted him, and then I've had to ring him after like the Stoke beat Brentford. I rang him. I just thought I have to ring him. I just rang him, just like, look, it's great, but like, I didn't mean anything how it come across. We've basically fucked it, and now we've been given another lifeline because Stoke beat Brentford.
You're just waiting for a bit of backup from the room, aren't you? From your mates.
Zero, mate. Absolutely
Silent.
Zero. But I think it was more, but I don't even think it was that, mate. I think it was more this, John. I think everyone was, keep going then, Jack. It's like, we got bottom row going in.
Pick up the pace, pick up the pace.
Zero backup. And that was it. And then we played QPR and obviously fell over the line, and that was it. Another promotion. So it was only for that.
Did he remember it, or did he?
I didn't play on the fucking Wednesday, put it that way. Did you not? I didn't play on the Wednesday. I mean, it come on for like 10 minutes. Yeah,
How was your
definitely
relationship other than that?
Fine. It was fine. It was good. It was probably only until pre-season came, it fucking all happened again. He didn't want me. He didn't want me. So I was like, it's fine. I've got another year left, and I'm earning a decent dough, so I ain't going. I was like, I'm 32 at the time, so I ain't fucking going anywhere. Then they tried to sell me. They only wanted me to go to Derby. And then Rooney was there. I was like, I ain't going to Derby because that was that fucking Pepe, someone was in charge.
Yeah.
So I ain't going because he's getting a sack and he's going to stop playing and he's going to be the manager. And I was like, I ain't going. You could just in football, you could see that was a scenario. If I've got the sack, he was the next one. Like, yeah, if you're playing with him, it's a bit different, but he can be on the sideline. So I was like, no, I ain't going. He rang me as well and was like, you come Derby? And I was like, no, I'm not coming because this is what I think is going to happen. And obviously I was fortunate it did. And then I didn't play. I was out the squad for like 6 games. And that was a disaster for me. Like my head had fully gone. I was like,
what would you be like if your head did go?
I was just a drink. I wouldn't like one of them where it's like, oh, I've got to be in the gym and I've got to do this. I was just like, no way. Same with injuries and that. I just couldn't deal with not being in that match day routine or travelling away or the home games. I couldn't not be in that, having that routine of just doing that day-to-day stuff. So I always just fucking ran away, and that sounds terrible. I used to always just end up having a few pints. That was like my escape.
Would you go back to your mates at home?
I would travel from here to West Brom, from here 2 hours every day.
Loose guess, how many fags is Slaven having a day?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I remember going into his room, into his office, probably like for 2 weeks in. So it was a half of this room and he'd have a door in there that was open. Like a smoke machine was going there. And poor old Jill, the secretary lady, had an office just off there. She didn't smoke, but she definitely ended up smoking 50 a day. She definitely smoked 50 a day off that. And then I got back in just because he had a couple of injuries. Hal got injured, and then I went on a Friday training and he was coming to the gym and was like, before training, like, have you got your travelling stuff? I was like, no. what have I got that for? And he like left, and the kit man came and was like, "Oh, Chaz, you're in the squad. Like, got you all your kit," and that was in. And then I just got back in then. Then he got fucking. Then we played Man City away. Now we ain't won. I think we won like 2 or 3 games or something like that. In the Prem, we were struggling, and go to the Etihad. We draw 1-1 there on the bus back. He's been sacked. But we used to travel on 2 buses. Staff would go on one, players would go on the other. And all the players like getting all the stuff through. Like Sam Allardyce going to get the job. Bilic has been sacked. We trained the next day, like recovered the next day, and he come in and like said bye. And then he was done, gone. It was the most weirdest thing going. So if it was holding up from the weekend, they're expecting us to go to the Etihad, Man City, get done 6 or 7. And then literally, mate, it was like we're on the bus. As quickly as we was on the bus, it was like 20 minutes later, it had been leaked that he was getting the bullet. So it was so strange.
See, I look at him and I think I rate like him, Bilic.
He looks haggard, he looks knackered all the time.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Just imagine fumigators coming in day after he's gone.
He was a 60, 70 a day smoker, him, mate. Yeah, he loved the bifter, him. Mate, he loved the bifter. Loved the bifter. Then Big Sam come in. It was all right to a degree, but then I could sense it then. It was just time to go. QPR asked if I'd go on loan, and I was just like, yeah, okay, fine.
How did you get on with Mickey Holland?
It's what a guy. Top guy. I got on well with him because he knew Joey.
Right.
So I got on well with him. Yeah, I got on well with him. But he had his favourites, like who he'd always. But he knew everybody. Like he knew everyone, Mick. But nice guy. I got on really well with him. Yeah.
Were you there when he went round on the bike after a defeat?
No, I was gone. I wasn't there by then. But a good guy. Then I went back to QPR, and Mark Warburton was in charge when he was there. But I really enjoyed my time with him. I thought he was brilliant. He didn't have a football background. He was a banker. He was all for the players earning money. Yeah.
Not surprised you probably
I
like
loved him. Like he was all for. Like he used to. You know when you get like team bonus, like you get player bonus. No one got a bonus. All went into a team pot. So we was getting big dough, win away from home and stuff like that. When I went to QPR, they was 21st and they had like 19 points. And then when I turned up, there was me, Steffi Hansen from Fulham, Sam Field come from West Brom, and Geordie DeVries come from Hull, I think it was. And when the season finished, we'd won 15 out of 20, 21. And we earned a fortune.
So when you say it goes into the team pot, does that mean it gets prorated?
Yeah, prorated
For
through
everyone.
it. Yeah, everyone got in. It was like set bonus. You get home win bonus, away win, home draw nothing, but away draw, away win, home win. Everyone just got weighed in prorated. So when the season finished, we made a fortune. Fucking lovely. Yeah, it was lovely. But he was a nice guy. But then when it ended, then it went through the QPR bit. Then because we done so well, everyone had the expectation of we'd be fighting to get promoted. But I can't forget that the championship's still tough, right? That's what it is. And then the fans all come back in, and it just didn't materialise in that way. Then that's when it come to a head when I just fell out with Les Ferdinand.
Did he come in as director?
Yeah, that was the first time I was there, but he would definitely got appointed just to keep the fans on side. I don't care what. He's an idiot.
I've heard him speak about
Oh,
it.
he's an idiot, mate. Just someone I didn't really get on with, and pushed it over the line. I was like I say, I was 32, 33 when I was done there. Like I said, we're not going to offer you anything. I was like, fine. But what done me in is when he asked me if I was going to retire. And I thought, you cheeky bastard. Like, who are you to ask me now we're done, you're not going to offer me any contract. Mine just like 2 days before the season finished. So who are you to come and ask me that? Like, it's got absolutely nothing to do with you, mate. I was like, no, I'm still going to play.
Did he think, what are you thinking physically, or are you thinking?
I think it was all round. I think probably physically, mentally, where I was at. What I was bringing to the team, but I just thought, I was bringing way more to the club than the whole dressing room. I know it's not always about off the field.
On the field.
Yeah, off the field, I was bringing way much more than everyone else. And then I was done, and that was it. I've not spoke to him since. I've been to a couple of golf days with him. Every time I walk in the room, he fucking leaves. I think, you shitbag. Yeah, you shitbag.
Yeah, I've heard him speak about it.
Yeah, he just wasn't for me, mate. And then that was it. And then the Australia thing happened. Went there, like I spoke about before. It was what it was. Done 18 months at Swindon, but when I come back from there, that was when I knew it was time. And I was delighted that the decision I made last summer, that step back from the full time, was a correct one.
How was it with Jody Morris?
Why do you have to ask me about him? Do you know what? It was I got on well with the chairman. He come in. I felt for him a little bit because when he come to Swindon, obviously they showed him the ground, but didn't show him the training ground. Training ground was like a leisure centre. So you'd be in there having your lunch or whatever, and then folks sat in the same with you because they'd just been playing walking football in the tennis courts. Do you know what I mean? It was just, he couldn't get his head around it. Even the first day, he'd give his boots to like the kit man. Like, I'll put them in the boot room. And he's like, ain't no boot room here, mate. Just put in the fucking metal skips. Yeah, like it didn't have a, and it was just, he was, what he'd obviously experienced for all the years at Chelsea, League Two, is very different. He should have known that anyway. But we just didn't see eye to eye, really. Just didn't see eye to eye at all. And he used to curve away from certain scenarios. And I remember being at Crewe away. It was a day before, and he said, "Oh, Chaz, like next year, like I want you really to work with me." And Ed Brandy was like, "This is like being the coach," and said, "Not play as much." I'm sat here listening to talking and thinking, "You silly fucker! I've got another year, mate. I'm playing. You don't have a clue." And then he got sacked 2 days later after he played Crewe and he got the bullet. Yeah, he was only there 3-4 months.
Were you club captain at this?
Yeah,
time?
I was club captain at the time. But we'd train, and then by the time you'd come off the training pitch, he was leaving. So his heart definitely wasn't in it. Like he'd gone, regardless of like whatever the setup was, he wasn't in there. And I was club captain. I was like, mate, I'll speak to the chairman, like the board, and that. Like, this ain't going to work for you. And then when he left, it was just there's only a game to go. Then Gav Gunning come in charge, and it was just in the end, it became like a job for the mates. So I think that was the thing.
It must have been nice though to go that full circle.
Yeah,
and then like you said, the influence that it had on you.
Yeah,
going forward, and the influence you could have.
I think I ended up finishing off 50 plus goals. So that was a nice one to go over the 50 mark for them, and just it was positive. Like I think Swindon paid 50 grand for me to Poole and sold me for 1.5 million to Burnley. Like I paid me dues fully on that side.
Yeah,
but it was nice just to cap it all off. Yeah.
Where does that goal rank? I can't remember if you chest it or touch it
For
QPR. I'm saying
against Southampton. Yeah, right for left foot. It's easy to say it's a favourite one, but don't ever ask me to replicate it. Do you know what I mean? No. So it was a phenomenal one. That'd be probably the best goal I'd scored. Yeah, definitely. I scored a couple of long ranges, but that would be the best one where I just touched it. I remember trying to replicate it 3 or 4 times. I didn't get anywhere near it.
Did you do a little dance after it as well?
No, just full slide. No, that was a good. When I'd done a dance, this is mad. Like I scored against Southampton. When I think about the whole career, we played Man City at 5:30 on a Saturday, and I'd done an interview with Tubes like before, and he said, "If you score, you do a chicken dance." I was like, "Yeah." We were playing Man City, right? Anyway, I'd scored, but I was like offside. Not tight, I was offside, right? So I kind of that went. Then Joe Hart takes a free kick, but kicks it twice. Plants his left foot, nudges it forward, and then kicks it to me. I have a touch and wallop it in. Next time I'm full chicken dancing over in the corner. Lino's waving his flag. like, what's going on? And I was like, what's going on here? And it was only till after he said, you kicked it twice. So he got to take it again. But then I eventually scored and then done it. So basically I scored a first half hat-trick against Man City, but only one counted. Two
chicken dances.
2 chicken dances, yeah. So when I think back, it was just mad.
What were you like? If you scored 3 but you lost 4-3, were you happy? Drew 3-3.
No, here we go. This when Jodie was in charge. We played Rochdale versus Swindon. I scored 4. And we drew 4-4. I fucked up for the 4th goal. I was front post man, and cross come in, and Ian Henderson got in front of me and scored. And I actually come in and apologised to the lads. I come in and was like, "Sorry, lads, that's on me." And they was like, "Oh, fuck off!" Like, no, what you on about? But I did but because I felt bad. It was not because I've amazing scored 4, right? But he scored like 95th minute equaliser, and I was like, "For fuck's sake!" That I hold my hands up. That was on me.
But if it had been somebody else on front post,
I'd have killed him. Do you know what I mean? But it was just that was the scenario. When you set the forward, scoring goals is what it is. At that point, that was my fault. Yeah, that was my fault.
Still playing?
Still playing. Particularly, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I like the non-league bit because I can dip my toe in when I want to. I've got too much. My little man plays now, and I like being involved in that. I like messing about like with him, going to watch him. I think that's the next best thing now I can really do.
And what do you see as being the next?
Honestly, well, after the figure you just told me what I'm reportedly, I'm worth nothing. I don't know at the moment. I honestly don't know. Something will crop up that I'll do. I certainly ain't going back to carrying bricks. So I certainly ain't doing that. But for now, I just see what happens. I'm in a fortunate position where I can be relaxed,
work it out.
And work
apprehensive but exciting times.
Yeah, what I want to do is like the next one. As much as that football side is now closed, it's what the next chapter is going to bring. But I'm in a good place now where I can just look back at what I've done and very fortunate, but now look forward to what the next lot brings.
There's scope for a collaboration with Blur, I reckon. Park Life.
Do you get targeted? You know when you're playing in the
league?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a few times, but I always remember there's a bloke that was in charge at Hasenhüttl at the time, Alan Clark his name is, lovely bloke. He always used to say to a fella called Jamie Gosling, tackle on your own terms. So I was like, right, so I just used that in my head. When we play, you can hear him coming, can't you? Fucking red mist coming out his old boy's ear, I was trying to boot me. So I just let the ball go. And like I was very fortunate a few times that I didn't. But then I used to say to mate, I used to play non-league, so I know. I got no problem sticking one on you. Like, do you know what I mean? That right back takes an heavy touch. I got no problem on them muddy pitches. Do you know what I mean? Sliding down there and that. No, but it's just, I enjoy it. And like I say, it still keeps you involved in that football sense, but with not as much the serious side of it, you know?
Yeah.
So now it's just, what will be, will be. I was very fortunate just to live what we all dreamed of, wasn't it? And that was it. I know it's a bit fucking heavy, that one.
Sam,
but
do you know what
I mean? And we played in the best position because we got all the fucking glory. Let's be honest, we got all the glory.
Well, some of us do.
Now and again.
It's all down to fucking Billy Paynter.
It's
all down to Bill.
Cheers, Bill.
Top man, thank you very much. Cheers.
No worries, chaps.
Oh, nice one, man.
No worries, guys.
Is that lamp all right?
Next time, Undr The Cosh.
Skip round Rio Ferdinand, just smashed it into the top corner. Carlton Palmer had just left, so I was seen as his replacement. I was loads better than him, by the way. Vinnie Jones, he clotheslined me just as I was trying to run past him. Just whack! I was holding my neck for flipping 5 minutes after that. Some fucker had nicked my car. Honestly, Dino, Jesus Christ, you can't shut him up, honestly. It might have been me that grassed him. We couldn't believe what we were watching.
Oh, Patrick!
Doesn't matter whether you're shit or not, but if you're giving everything, they'll forgive you. I was singlish, mate. Yeah, it was the Enkelman one, wasn't it, when it went under his foot.
Oh, the throw-in?
Yeah. Did you touch it? I don't know. I'm worth it and all that palaver. Desperate to play for England, but with that bunch, you got no chance, have you, really? Especially the likes of Lambs, who was scoring goals for fun.